Hi guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about attention deficit disorder in young children. I have my pamphlet here and I'm going to show that to you. So you might be asking yourself, what is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder? Well, it is, it's brain-based, it's biological. It's not something that usually kids just develop. It's something that they're born with and they just have. Some kids are diagnosed as young as 4 years old, but you can start to see characteristics younger than that. And there's 3 different types. There's the impulsive hyperactive type, there's the inattentive and distractible type, and there's the combined type. Most young kids that are diagnosed with ADHD are diagnosed with the combined type. But as kids get older, girls especially tend to get diagnosed with the inattentive and distractible type. I actually picked this because my youngest, who is 5, is going through his diagnostic to get diagnosed with this. It's hereditary, so if either parent or a grandparent has it, a child from those grandparents or parents might have it as well. So I was recently diagnosed, so it makes sense that my children would have it. Some characteristics of ADHD are difficulty attending, difficulty listening, distractibility, forgetfulness, a lack of executive functioning skills like organizing thoughts, organizing tools that they might be using for learning, things like that. Impulsiveness, blurting, difficulty staying in their seat when they're supposed to, excessive talking, fidgeting, losing or forgetting items, things like that. ADHD definitely affects a young child's development in all areas. Kids who are diagnosed with ADHD generally have higher rates of articulation disorders and higher rates of language disorders as well, not just articulation, but language. Kiddos who have ADHD are more likely to have motor difficulties and social emotional difficulties, but from my reading, I learned that it's not that they don't have the social skills, they're just not sure how to execute the social skills, which I thought was really interesting. Cognitively, kids who have ADHD have lower rates of school achievement, but it's not because they don't have an average IQ. It's because, again, they're not able to attend to the instruction, and that is what makes it difficult for them to learn. Kids who have ADHD also might have some sensory processing things. They might be more sensitive to sounds or smells or, lighting, things like that. Also physically, kids who have ADHD might also have difficulty sitting. So alternate seating is preferable sometimes for some kids. So they might like to stand, they might like to lay on their tummies, they might have a preference towards those kinds of things. Easy ways to help your kiddos. Model the organized thinking and speaking. So make sure you're modeling taking time to collect your thoughts before you speak, things like that. Make sure if your child is displaying that impulsive behavior, that you're speaking to the child in a calm, neutral tone. Teaching your child to freeze and take a break for a second is helpful. That helps them stop that process of unorganized thinking and move into the organized thinking. Playing and laughing with a child in a calm manner teaches them to have fun in a regulated fashion, so they're not all crazy. So playing cars with your kiddo, like we're playing cars, but we're not throwing the cars. When we're laughing together, we're also building self-esteem. So those kinds of things can help a kiddo that have ADHD a lot. I have lots of cool resources that I hadn't found yet, which I've been studying a lot, and some treatments for ADHD. Um, for younger children, the standard of treatment is therapy, but that therapy has to be conducted in conjunction with the family. So the therapist will be working with a child to build strategies to work through the ADHD, but also be helping the family to be able to coach the child at home. As a child gets older, the therapist and doctor might decide to add in some medication. Medications for ADHD are changing all the time. So they used to be more stimulant based, and now they're not like that. Some still are, and they're still widely prescribed, but there are other choices too for families who don't feel comfortable with a stimulant. There are some alternate treatments as well, like diet, eliminating gluten or sugar or dairy, things like that sometimes can help some kids. There's different supplements like fish oil that some parents use to help regulate ADHD without typical medication. And there's chiropractic, exercise, biofeedback, lots of other different things that some people have found helpful with their children. I hope you enjoy learning about ADHD, and if you have any questions, let me know. This is something that's always on my mind and I'm always learning more about, so I'd be glad to take you down a rabbit hole if you would like.